Ew, gotta get rid of this old Backstreet Boys t-shirt.
Tell me why.
Because it stinks, boys.
Tell me why.
I've washed it so many times, but the odor won't come out.
Tell me why.
No, you tell me why I can't get rid of this odor.
Have you tried Downy Rinse and Refresh? It doesn't just cover up odors, it helps remove them.
Wow, it worked, guys.
Yeah.
Downy Rinse and Refresh removes more odor in one wash than the leading value detergent in 3 washes. Find it wherever you buy laundry products.
I need new music.
Discover new music now. JJO.
Welcome to Discover New Music. Joining me today, very special guest, all the way from Australia. You know that one that's way down on the side and the water spins backwards? That area. Anyway, that's not important. It's Winston McCall of Parkway Drive. Winston, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me.
Brand new Parkway Drive out now. Darker Still, the new album. I believe the 7th studio album. And here we are, Winston, on the precipice of 20 years of Parkway Drive. Books, DVDs, records, tours. From the beginning, the early days at the Parkway House. I love the story of where you guys started. To now, what's your biggest takeaway from all that? Looking back.
Oh, man. Looking back at half your life's existence being in a band, what do you take away from it? Oh, man, it's been a wild ride, to be honest. Like, it's just like how quickly time goes and the fact that, man, 20 years has come around quick. Like it's come around so quick. It's pretty insane to think that, yeah, like over half my existence on this planet has been spent doing this thing as Parkway, and it still seems like we're only just getting started, which is the really, really crazy thing. Like putting out all of the things that you said and just rolling out like album number 7 and still feeling like there's so much more to do and so much more music to create and play it's a rad feeling. It's a pretty rad feeling, to be honest, because I didn't think we ever would record a album, let alone 20 years worth of music.
And you know what's crazy too, and bring that up as we kind of take this walk down memory lane, it's been pretty much the same lineup with you and Jeff and Luke and Ben for these last 20 years. What is the key to that? Because most bands can't even come close to keeping it together for that long.
It's interesting because like the key to it was basically just relentless drive. Like we were all close growing up. We all went to high school together. We've known each other forever. I mean, when you grow up thinking you're going to have nothing in your life and you're presented with the opportunity to do something you enjoy and travel around the world, like you kind of hold on to that as hard as you can. That same drive has led us definitely into some very bad communication issues that we've only just figured out. But that's been the thing that's kept us together. Like it's a pretty nuts experience for anyone who's ever in a band, especially a touring band, would know. Like it's a crazy way to live. It's a crazy way to see the world. And more often than not, the only people that kind of you connect with are the people that are in the van next to you. And like you either love them or hate them. And we really do care about each other. And that's been the thing that's kind of kept us together, because at the end of the day, like when we started this, we came from a bum town with like the highest unemployment rate in our country and no chance of a career or a job or anything like that. And all of a sudden someone's like, yo, you can go to the other side of the world and play music. You might not be able to make money off it, but you can do it. And you're like, hey, at least I'm going to see that place over there. And then 20 years later, we have got a career out of it, which is nuts. So yeah, it's definitely kept us, like survival has been something that's tied us together.
Well, being from Australia, you guys know about survival because everything in Australia. All right. Everything. Yeah. Dude,
I got stories, man. I got stories.
In my research for this interview, I came across a photo that was posted on Twitter. The first band photo in front of that Parkway House where you guys got your name from 2003. Do you know what photo I'm talking about?
100% know what it is.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's so 2003, Winston.
Yeah.
The hair and the necklace. And the dickies. Oh my God.
Yeah. The police hair. Yeah, dude, that's iconic, that photo. Yeah, that house is still there. Like it's Ben's parents' house, and he's still there. Like he was, I'm pretty sure he jammed like out all this stuff for this tour at that house, so it still exists. The street sign doesn't exist; that's stolen a million times over. But the house is still.
Love it. Well, if you guys ever want to recreate that photo, I highly recommend it. And for anyone else who was in high school around that time, like I was, it'll make you feel like you're looking at a photo of your friends because it's just insane.
we laugh now, but that was actually floated as a concept for the next promo photo for us.
Oh my God, I love it. 20 years, let's take a flashback photo, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk new stuff here because you said something really interesting at the beginning of this interview. You know, how here we are 20 years later, but you still feel like there's room to grow. And with this new album, Darker Still, and the audio evolution, where does this stand in the audio evolution of the band and what you're doing?
It's definitely the furthest step forward we've taken. Like the entire evolution of the band has been steps into the unknown. From the day we started, it was like a bunch of like punk and hardcore kids going, let's try and write some metal stuff. So that was already like a step out of our comfort zone, and it's been a constant process of that. But this album was like, this was the album we wrote with no restraints and possibly the concept of no future. Like when we wrote this, we're locked in Australia. The idea of like live music is dead and buried. We're like, there's a possibility that we only ever get to create one more album. So what do you want to do? Do you want to do something which you've done before? Or do you want to just like look into the unknown and go, we're going over there and we're going to try and do something completely different, which we've never even tried. So it was basically just completely based around everything that we love and everything that we've wanted to do, which we also have never had the time or had constraints put on us in terms of like any mental blocks or anything to be able to create. And that's what went into doing this. It was just focus on the imagination and bringing that forward. So you end up with a much more diverse album than anything we've put down before. It was very, very, very calculated and very designed in its branching out from the core of where this band first started.
So a swan song-esque album, but luckily not the swan song album.
That's it. 100%. It was the album you write at the end of the world, and then luckily it wasn't the end of the world. That was a really cool thing. But that was the way we approached it. We're like, no excuses. Like, no, you have no excuse not to create what should be something quite defining for you. Oh my God, this is like a whole new breath of life. But at the same point in time, we got this very unique experience to create like a very unique set of circumstances in which to create the actual album. So
would you say it was very cathartic as an artist and almost that reset for you guys and the writing process, the creating process?
Oh, 100%. Like it was totally unique, not only like as a really good outlet to deal with what was going on at that point in time, because it was everyone's gone through a degree of fear and darkness and change, like the likes of which no one's ever dealt with before, is obviously going to find its way into an album. And I mean, it's called Darker Still, geez. But at the same time, like when you're talking just about the way you write music, like generally you're so locked into like a tour write schedule where you're away until an album cycle's done, and then you create something new, and then you create something new to tour again. That when that is disconnected and the chain is completely gone from that way of thinking, and all the muscle memory is bled out from like playing shows for 1,000 nights in a row, all of a sudden you're left with a very, very clear slate. And you couple that with everything else that's going on, and it really is like it comes down to the imagination and the emotion connecting together, which is like I really can't imagine another situation we'll ever have something like this happen to us. So yeah, I
love it, man. Well, if that doesn't get you excited to pick up the record, I don't know what. Madison Solid Rock 94.1 JJO and JJO Discover New Music. Our guest this week is Winston McCall of Parkway Drive, talking to us about their new release, Darker Still. Do you maybe have a favorite track on the album, one that really speaks to you? I know that's kind of a hard question.
It's interesting, though. The one that I'm most proud of is the one that I don't think anyone suspected we could make, which is literally the title track, which is a ballad. So like it's like a 7-minute like ballad, which involves like basically no aggressive vocals on my behalf, like 3 guitar solos. Like it's closer to like Guns N' Roses and Metallica than it is to Hatebreed, which is nuts. But like for us, like that was a very big thing to drag those classic influences that we've all had as people through our musical journey into the Parkway Drive sphere and create our version of that. Because for me, I'm like, well, this is a true statement of how far we've managed to to journey from like those first original roots to where we currently are. So yeah, that holds a big place in my heart. I love all the songs on the album, to be honest. Like, it is one of those things where you're like, I just love them all. I don't have a favorite, but to be honest, I'm most proud of that one.
So now, are we going to see like a super long music video? Axl Rose Ask Where You're Swimming with Dolphins and doing.
I love that you went for the swimming with dolphins rather than Slash like walking out of the church.
Yes, I see you, but since you're Australia, so maybe sharks. We'll get you in there. You'll jump off a big boat and swim the sharks. I love it.
I'm fully down for that. But that Slash reference was completely it. Like when it finally hits the middle section of that song and Jeff like starts wailing, I was like, when he wrote that, I'm like, this is the section where you have to walk out of the church like Slash and play in the desert somewhere. That's what this has to evoke. It can be nothing less. So yeah, if that involves me swimming with sharks and dolphins, I'm fully down for that. Axle me up.
Shirtless, of course, at some point. We'll make it.
Yeah.
I love it. You know, talking about this and seeing this new side and exploring new sides, is that nerve-wracking as an artist? Because like, oh God, the fans are going to hear this and they're not going to like it, and there they go. Or do you just kind of have to bury those thoughts?
No, well, it's not that it's buried. It's just more an acknowledgement of why we do what we do. Mm-hmm. Like I love that people have connected with our music. Like, honestly, the most shocking thing for us has always been, oh my God, you care about what we do. Wow, that's incredible. Like the only quality gauge we've ever held in this band has been, do we enjoy making it? Do we enjoy listening to it? Do we enjoy playing it? If it just ticks those boxes, that's it. Because we know there's nothing else behind it. There's no like money grab or anything like that. Like it's a very honest process behind it. So we just really stick to that. And when it comes to writing anything, and I think after all these years of being in this band and people listening to our music, we've come to just trust the fact that if people like the music, they're going to give it the time to actually try and understand what we're going for. And if they still don't click with it, hey man, that's cool. It's just music. It's not the end of the day. But if they do click with it, that's great. I really admire the fact that I think our fan base these days especially are not the kind of fans that will just hear something different and go, never listening to you ever again. They will endeavor to understand why we make the choices that we make, which is really like, that's a big luxury. We're very, very grateful to be provided that.
I love it, man. Well, congratulations on the brand new album, Darker Still, available now from Parkway Drive. Go get it, add it to your collection, and then go see them on tour. If you've never seen Parkway Drive live, it's exhausting. I'm not going to lie. I can't handle it anymore. I'm good for a few songs. Then I got to get back with my beer and all right, good. I need a breather because it's intense. It is intense.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah. I'm only getting reminded of that now. This is our first tour back after COVID. And I'm looking out at the crowd and I'm like, oh my God, what am I putting you guys through? Like, I'm really glad there's seating options at the shows these days. But yeah.
Well, especially for the people that have been with you since 2003, man. They're getting
That's
up
it. Yeah. 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 You get reserved seating if you've been here longer than 10 years.
That's right. There's a breather section. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
No, it's great. And congrats, guys. 20 years and the brand new album. Go get it. Like we said, Darker Still from Parkway Drive. Love it and super excited to hear more. Well, before I let you go, I usually do a rapid fire, but since you're from Australia, I got to take advantage of that. I got to milk that for all it's worth. So
yes,
I want to do Australian slang with Winston McCall. Can we do that?
Of course we can. What do you want?
All right. So I'm going to give you the slang and you're going to give us the American version of what it,
right.
What
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So let's start simple. Barbie.
Grill, cookout. Let's just go with either one of those. A grill or a cookout. Like it's a barbecue, but I think you guys, I mean, it's probably a slightly messier barbecue in Australia.
and of course we all know. Do you never want to hear "put another shrimp on the Barbie" ever again?
It's a prawn. It's a bloody prawn. Like, I don't know where the word shrimp came from, but I've never heard any. Like, a shrimp is someone who's very, very short in Australia.
Oh, okay. So
you're a bloody shrimp.
Put another prawn on the Barbie.
There you go. Yeah, that's it. The correct term.
We got two on there. That's great. Okay, this one I really like. Akadaka.
Oh, Oh my! Yeah, come on! If you haven't figured this one out yet, doesn't the rest of the world use this?
No,
Man,
no one does.
AC/DC, come on, AC/DC, Akadaka.
You know where I learned that
Greatest
from?
rock band in history.
Ever. I love it. You know where I learned that from is from a movie called Thunderstruck that was filmed in Australia about a group of guys in a band that travel to see Bon Scott's grave. And they said Akadak. And I'm like, what are they talking about? And then I learned. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Educational
Akadak and turn it up. What about this one? No Wuckas.
Oh, no. I'm wondering if I can put the curse word in the middle of there. No,
sure,
Wuckas.
go for it.
No worries.
Yeah, there you go.
It's supposed to be no worries, but yeah. And if it's Australian and it doesn't have that in the middle, then most Australian sentences and most Australian slang has a curse word thrown in there at some point. It sounds less cursish because you have the Australian accent that goes with it. But yeah, no worries. No Wuckas, mate.
I love it. It just sounds,
right.
It's fun when you say it. What about a dunny? What's a dunny?
Dunny. The dunny is the toilet, the thunderbox. Yeah. Got to go to the dunny. Chuck a piss.
I think Thunderbox is probably more. I think that's my favorite one right there.
Thunderbox is great. Like that's proper real Australian slang. Like Dunny is just everyday Australian talk.
Yeah.
Thunderbox is proper slang.
Well, now if I ever go, I'm gonna feel like a local when I say, "Hey, where's your
100%.
Thunderbox?" I gotta do my business.
What's the Thunderbox?
All right, last one, because I didn't believe this was a real thing. So you're going to confirm nor deny it. Budgie smugglers.
100% real. 100% real. Budgie smugglers. What would be the American term? Speedos?
Yeah.
Speedos. Yeah. So they're also known in Australia as dick stickers, budgie smugglers. Budgie smugglers mainly because it looks like you got like a budgie, like, tucked down the front of your pants, down the front of these Speedos. So, yeah.
I love your language. It's a beautiful language. And you know what? I think I'm just going to have you like read to me at night. That's all I want. That's all I want.
Sophistication is the key of our country.
All right. Well, there you go. Australian slang with Winston McCall of Parkway Drive. Thank you so much for humoring me. And again, congratulations, my friend. Darker Still, the latest album out now.
Thank you.
On tour. And congrats, guys, on 20 years. It's awesome, man.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you. That was the greatest section I've ever done. Stoked.
Good. I'm glad. Right. Thanks again, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Awesome.
This is the JJO Discover New Music Podcast. Listen, rate, share, subscribe. Discover new music now at WJJO.com, in the JJO app, or wherever you get your podcasts. Brock has a new interview every Thursday evening between 6 and 7. 94.1 JJO.